For 3 years straight, my ex-wife and I co-parent fine. No issues. But now over the last couple of months, all of a sudden, she wants to be my friend. She wants to come to my house and sit on my counters and crack jokes, and she wants to have holidays together as a family, and she wants to invite me up to her apartment and help her fix little things around her apartment. I was simply trying to explain how I don't want to be your friend.
Sounds like to me she's trying to weasel her way back into his life. Like she wants to get the family back together, but without overtly saying she made a mistake. So she wants to like incrementally get closer and closer, but she doesn't want to actually come out and say, hey, I made a mistake. Here's what I want. She wants to kind of work her way back into his life so that one day he wakes up and she's just right there next to him. And she's just successfully made this family come back together without having to acknowledge that she fucked up.
I've already set that boundary, and now you're stepping on that boundary.
They'll start missing you when they realize that they can't replace you. They'll try, but they will realize they can't. Some memories just can't be replaced. Number 2, when they go through a hard time and they realize that they need someone that knows how to comfort them, and they want to be comforted in a way that they have before by you. So I guess what I'm saying is, Jimmy, don't replace a good girl for just a good time.
Well, it kind of sounds like she's talking about this is the process women go through whenever they realize they regret divorcing their husband or leaving their boyfriend. I think generally what happens is women leave too soon and men take too long to leave. Like a lot of times it seems that men will be in relationships with women who are quite disrespectful to them, but the guys tolerate it because he loves her or whatever. And, men won't leave relationships just because they're unhappy. Like I genuinely believe men are more inclined to stay in a relationship when they're unhappy than women are. Women seem to be sort of victims to their emotions. So they like, oh, I'm unhappy. This isn't really going the way I would like 100%. So I'm going to leave. I'm gonna exit the relationship. Whereas men, I believe, are more dedicated and devoted. So I think that when a man leaves a relationship, when he finally leaves, that man has probably had enough. He's probably sat back and thought about it heavily, weighed the pros and cons. So I really don't think that men are more. I don't think men are as susceptible to the feelings of regret as women are, because it's not as much of a haste decision when men do it. Generally speaking.
They start missing you when you stop caring. He left, and so far he hasn't looked back. Actually, he replaced me barely a month later. He replaced me before he even left. He is happy he's not with me.
Well, there you go.
They come back when you are done. That's the hard truth about it, and that's why most come back after some time.
That's what they do. They think they can upgrade. They try to replace you because you were actually the good man. They fail for multiple years trying to replace you. So then they try to be your friend. It's one of those situations where they don't want you, but they don't want anybody else to have you either. They brainwash themselves and let people think that they're better than what they are. So they think they can upgrade from you, not realizing in the moment that you were the best they were going to find. That you were truly the good man that would have taken care of her and done anything for her. So once they get down that road of trying to replace you and failing over a couple of years, they then get the bright idea of, well, let's be friends with my ex. I'm going to try to be friends with him. I just went through this. For 3 years straight, my ex-wife and I co-parent fine. No issues. We didn't have any conversations past what needed to be happening for our kid. But now over the last couple of months, all of a sudden, she wants to be my friend. She wants to come to my house and sit on my counters and crack jokes and, talk about her day and talk about her problems with work and everything else. She wants to have holidays together as a family, and she wants to make me coffee in the morning when I go over to pick my kid up to take him to school. She wants to invite me up to her apartment and help her fix little things around her apartment. She wants to do Halloween themed like a family with our son. But when I finally saw the light and I finally said, What's going on here? Like, is she trying to get back in my life? Is she trying to be back together? I'm sorry, ma'am. I made it perfectly clear to you that I will not be your friend. We can co-parent. We can, do all that stuff. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But we don't need to talk. I don't need to hear you vent about your work or all this stuff. I don't need you calling me in the morning when you get fired from a job, crying your eyes out. I don't need you telling me that you're not wearing panties. Friends don't do that. I was simply trying to explain how I don't want to be your friend. I've already set that boundary, and now you're stepping on that boundary. So your cop-out is that, this is what's best for our kid. Us being friends is what, no, it's not. What's best for our child is for us to just simply co-parent.
Well, she wants to act like she has her children's best interest in mind. But if that was the case, she probably wouldn't have split up the family in the first place, right? And you can kind of tell the way this guy's talking, she probably left him. And so now he's kind of like confused and frustrated. Why are you now trying to come back into my life? Why are you telling me you're not wearing panties? Why are you trying to make me coffee? Why are you trying to tell me you got fired from your job? You ended this. This was your idea. Now don't come crawling back when you realize that I was a good guy the entire time. You're 35 years old. You're a single mom. And men really aren't that interested in you. It's not as easy as you thought it was. Perhaps, you're out here on these dating apps and it's not going the way you thought it was going to go. You're having a hard time getting commitment. Men won't take you seriously. Perhaps even the options out there are not as good as me, your ex-husband. And now that you realize that, you're trying to come crawling back. And she's trying to disguise these behaviors as, well, it's better for the family. It's pretty disgraceful. It's pretty backwards for you to say that. When, if that was true, the whole time you've cared about the family and what's best for it, you would have kept it together in the first place. You wouldn't have left. I like this guy. I like how he's handling it. I think he's going about it in the right way. Absolutely. Sounds like he hasn't even entertained her whole, I'm not wearing any panties thing. He's like, no, we're not. I'm not going to play that bullshit. And good for him having the discipline. But, I'm kind of making assumptions here. Maybe he didn't. But I also think it could be maybe she doesn't actually want to get the family back together, but what she's looking for here is she's looking for a man to give her emotional support. She's looking for a best friend. She maybe feel a little bit lonely, and so she's trying to use him for all this. Trying to be like her emotional tampon, basically. And he's just not having it. And you can tell he's a religious man. It's probably a religious family. He's got the cross in the background. His wife, probably religious. And it seems that, they got divorced anyways.
Bro, she is trying to get you back because she realized you are the best thing out there. And you have to make a decision. Everyone is different. My ex tried to get me to take her back a couple of times. I can't do it. As soon as there was one other dude, I was done. What's best for my kids is to see me healthy.
Yeah, that's true. He says, my ex has tried to get me to take her back a couple of times. I can't do it. As soon as there was one other dude, I was done. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? That's a big problem. That's a big problem. You've been with this woman for a long time. You guys split up, and then she goes out, gets with other men, and then she wants to come back into your life and act like nothing has changed. She wants to go back to this relationship or this marriage or whatever. But it's like at that point, you just can't do it. Nah, you've had other men. No, can't do it. It might be a little bit different if there was no other men involved or whatever, and that it might be objectively true that it would be better for the family if this guy were to say, all right, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get the family back together. Let's try to reunite and let's try to fix this. But, the problem is her. she's the problem. It's like you can't really trust a person at that point. You can't really trust her motive. You don't really know if she's going to do it again. You don't know if she's going to look at you differently. And ultimately, it's a lot of disrespect. It's a lot of disrespect for her to split up the family like that and then just think that once she comes crawling back, you'll accept her with open arms. Truly. And then again, a really big problem with this is that she's been with other men since, probably. Maybe she wasn't able to get their commitment. Maybe nothing seriously long term, but like this guy said in here in this comment, everyone is different. My ex has tried to get me to take her back a couple of times. I can't do it. As soon as there was one other dude, I was done. And I completely understand that. I completely understand that. That's it. You can't be with another man after me and then come back. It's over.
I'm in the same situation. My ex-wife said she was bored and wanted to live her best life. I said I'm good. I'm living my best life.
Good for you.
It's scary how relatable this is.
Because you wanted to go cheat and got flipped out of my bed crying. I need you to get out of my bed. It's time for you to leave. You don't live at my house. She wants to act dramatic because she flipped her car last night while she was drunk and cheating on me. She says I shattered her world when she's the one who went out. She's the one who flipped her car. She's the one who decided to try to leave the house in the first place. So it's all on her, not me. This is what being an adult is. Knowing when to move on.
That was the best part of this video. This is a great display of maturity, and this is how this type of issue should be solved.
Well, he's smart for recording. That's the best thing he could have done in that scenario, is pull out his phone and start recording. You get a hysterical woman like this. It's you're having arguments over her cheating and whatnot. You never know what her next move is going to be. So at that point, you start recording. Because who knows, maybe she's going to call the cops next and say you hit her, abused her, because she can't handle this. She can't handle the loss. She can't handle the consequences. She can't handle the punishment. So who knows how she's going to act out.
There is no point in arguing. It will be better for both.
And it's definitely that time. She didn't have no makeup on. Didn't have this nice outfit that I bought for her on. But all of a sudden, she Houdini'd into the outfit. Wow, what does that mean? Cheating, lying, being sneaky.
Don't ask me for relationship advice, because my advice is either break up, get a divorce, or throw him down the stairs.
Throw him down the stairs. You know how careful I have to be with the things I say on this channel? It might not come off as that, but I do. I have to be very careful with the things I say. And then I just hear women like this say shit, well, throw him down the stairs. Incredible.
That's why you are single. I'm jealous of their relationship. This is why you look at the person and the track record before you ask for advice. You wouldn't go to a broke person for financial advice.
Well, they're pro-divorce. That's what a lot of these modern women are. Pro-divorce.
What if you find a good man? Then what? I agree. Don't ask you for relationship advice. I don't know whether she was trying to be funny or serious when she made those statements.
Probably a little bit of both. That just frustrates me. And you got to think about why these women feel like it's appropriate to say things like that, and it's because they're never held accountable. There you go, solved it. And that's exactly why. And so we need to hold them to the same standard. If we're going to be all about equality in this country, and we're all equal under the law, then this shit can't fly. You can't say stupid shit like this. You can't talk about beating men. You can't talk about throwing men down the stairs. Unbelievable.